A problem-free flight is priceless, and the people at Expedia know how to spot trouble on board. Sarah Gavin of Expedia.com joins us now. Thanks for coming on the show, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
You found for many people the worst are screaming children and kids kicking seats. But how do you broach the subject with parents without making them angry?
The first really comes down to the turf war around sort of airplane seats and how much space you have on your seat and what happens around that seat. The number one is the seat back kicker, but we also saw on our top 10 list that person who reclines, and certainly those two go together. We've seen a lot of sort of air rage incidents happen over the course of this year, really around all that turf war with the seat. The second one is the one you mentioned, the inattentive parents. So often what we see is kids are misbehaving and the parents just aren't paying any attention to it, or you've got a crying baby and the parents aren't paying the attention that you think that they should. I had a woman on a flight who had a newborn, and she bought drinks for everybody in the seats that were right around her, and that was just the nicest thing to do. The other big ones that round out the list: the aromatic passenger, that person who didn't quite have time to take a shower, or they bring on an onion sandwich or something like that. The boozer, the chatty Cathy, and then that person who's the audio insensitive, the person who's talking really loudly or they have their music up too loud. That sort of rounds out our list of I'll say the Expedia naughty list, if you will.
In general, are we becoming naughtier or nicer in flight?
You know what's interesting is the big thing that we see that worries me the most is the fact that it's not just the behavior on the plane, but it's what people are doing about the behavior. So if I had to pick my pet peeve, it's really that. It's that people aren't, just treating each other nicely and sort of giving each other that little bit of grace, but instead they're picking up their smartphone, they're videotaping it, or they're going on Twitter and they're sort of publicly shaming people. It's one thing to, be unaware that you're being rude on a plane or just kind of miss the mark on the plane, but when you deliberately go out there and try to shame another passenger, that's the worst naughty list to me, and that's the one that worries me most. And that if I had one wish for Christmas, it would be that everybody sort of took a moment, took a deep breath, said something to the passenger next to them, handled it like an adult.
Well, we wish you a peaceful holiday season.
Thanks for having me.